The information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or professional advice. Restaurant safety and health regulations vary by state and local jurisdiction. You should consult with qualified professionals, including legal counsel, fire safety experts, and public health officials, to ensure compliance with all applicable laws and standards for your specific business operations. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. Your restaurant is humming. The dining room is packed, reservations are full for the next 2 hours, and the air is electric with the clatter of plates and the buzz of happy conversations. In the kitchen, it's controlled chaos. The sizzle of steaks, the roar of the wok, the rhythmic chop of knives. It's the symphony of a successful service. You, the owner, take a moment to look at the ticket rail, a long paper snake of orders, and you feel a surge of pride. This is it. This is the dream you worked for. Then you smell it. It's not the rich aroma of garlic and butter. It's not the savory scent of your signature sauce. Something else. Something sharp, acrid, and wrong. A line cook points up towards the exhaust hood. A tiny angry orange flicker is dancing inside the vent. And in the space between one heartbeat and the next, that flicker becomes a hungry roar. A grease fire. It's climbing the inside of your ductwork like a lit fuse on a rocket, racing towards the roof, feeding on years of accumulated, invisible fuel. The fire suppression system kicks in, bathing your state-of-the-art ovens in a cascade of chemical foam. But it's too late. The fire is inside the walls, inside the ceiling. The symphony of service is replaced by the shriek of smoke alarms and the screams of your staff. In less than 5 minutes, your dream is engulfed in black smoke and flashing red lights. This isn't a scene from a movie. This is the #1 catastrophic risk for nearly every restaurant in America. Over 60% of all restaurant fires originate in the kitchen, and the overwhelming majority of those are caused by one thing: grease. Not the grease you wipe off the flat top every night. Not the grease you squeegee off the floor. It's the hidden grease. The vaporized, aerosolized grease that your exhaust hood is supposed to capture and expel. It's the sticky, flammable residue that coats the inside of your filters, your plenum, your ductwork, and your rooftop exhaust fan. It's a time bomb silently ticking away, completely out of sight and for most owners completely out of mind. You might be thinking, my kitchen is clean. We pass our health inspections with flying colors. And that's the dangerous illusion, that a grade hanging proudly by your front door gives you a false sense of security. The health inspector looks for things that can make people sick today: cross-contamination, improper food temperatures, hand-washing protocols. They might glance at your hood filters, but they are not climbing a ladder to run a scope through your ductwork. They are not measuring the thickness of the creosote-like grease deposits building up inches from a 600-degree flame source. Their job is public health, not fire prevention. So you can have a spotless, A-grade kitchen on the surface that is, in reality, a catastrophic fire hazard. But let's put the terrifying prospect of a fire aside for a moment, because that hidden grime, that seemingly minor cleaning task you keep putting off, is attacking your business from a dozen other angles, each one capable of shutting you down just as effectively as a fire. Let's talk about pests. To a cockroach, a fly, or a rodent, the small, dark, greasy crevice behind your fryer line is a 5-star resort with a complimentary 24/7 Agni buffet. A single crumb is a feast. A forgotten splatter of sauce is a banquet. That thin film of grease on the wall is a nutrient-rich paradise. You see, pests don't need a mountain of garbage to thrive. They need a foothold. And once they have it, it's game over. A single German cockroach can be responsible for over 30,000 descendants in a single year. They hide in the motor housings of your coolers, in the gaskets of your refrigerators, and in the insulation behind your walls. They carry Salmonella, E. coli, and dozens of other pathogens. All it takes is one customer spotting one roach scuttling across the floor. One photo posted to Yelp or Google or Instagram with the caption, "Never eating here again." Your reputation, built over years of hard work, can be destroyed in an afternoon. And that leads directly to the single greatest threat to any food service establishment: a foodborne illness outbreak. We think of outbreaks coming from bad produce or undercooked meat. And they do. But they are magnified, multiplied, and spread by inadequate cleaning. Imagine a prep cook handles raw chicken. They wash their hands and wipe down the stainless steel prep table with a sanitizer cloth. But what they don't see is the microscopic biofilm of bacteria that has formed in a tiny scratch on that table's surface. The sanitizer can't penetrate it. Later, another cook uses that same clean table to prep salads, Now, every Caesar salad that leaves your kitchen is a potential vector for Campylobacter. A family celebrating a birthday gets sick. Then another couple. The health department gets a call. They launch an investigation. They trace it back to you. Suddenly, there are news vans in your parking lot and your name is in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Your doors are chained shut with a notice from the Board of Health. Lawsuits follow. The financial and reputational damage is almost impossible to recover from. Chipotle lost billions in market value from its E. coli outbreaks. Most independent restaurants don't have billions to lose. They just have everything. Even if you manage to avoid fire, pests, and outbreaks, a substandard approach to cleaning is still slowly bleeding your business dry. Think about your employees. Nobody wants to work in a dirty, greasy, smelly environment. A perpetually sticky floor is not just unpleasant, it's a massive safety hazard, leading to slips, falls, and workers' compensation claims. Equipment caked in grime is inefficient. It works harder, consumes more energy, and breaks down more often, leading to expensive repair bills and service interruptions on a busy Friday night. A dirty kitchen is a chaotic kitchen, and it fosters a culture of carelessness that impacts food quality, ticket times, and ultimately, the guest experience. It leads to high employee turnover, forcing you to constantly spend time and money hiring and training new staff, only to have them leave for a cleaner, safer, more professional environment down the street. The truth is, commercial kitchen cleaning is not janitorial work. It is not an expense to be minimized. It is a critical control point for your entire operation. It is risk management. It is brand protection. It is food safety. It is employee safety. It is a core pillar of profitability and longevity. And for far too long, it has been the most dangerously misunderstood and neglected part of the restaurant industry. That is why we created this series. This isn't about scaring you. It's about arming you. Over the next 9 parts, we are going to do a deep dive into every single aspect of commercial kitchen cleaning. We will go beyond the daily checklist of wiping and mopping. We're going to explore the science of grease, detergents, and sanitizers. We will break down the anatomy of your kitchen exhaust system piece by piece and show you exactly what a professional cleaning should look like. We will teach you how to read a health inspection report like a pro, identifying the hidden red flags before they become violations. We'll show you the 10 most missed cleaning spots that can get you shut down. We will analyze the pros and cons of doing it in-house versus hiring a professional service, giving you a framework to make the right financial and operational decision for your business. What you are about to learn is the unspoken secret of the most successful, most durable, and most respected restaurants in the country. It's the knowledge that separates the amateurs from the professionals. It's the system that transforms your kitchen from your single biggest liability into your most powerful asset. So, if you're serious about not just surviving, but thriving in this brutally competitive industry, stick with me. Because what we are about to uncover is the foundation upon which every great restaurant is built. Let's start with a simple, undeniable truth. Every single meal you serve begins its journey in your kitchen. That's the engine room of your entire operation. But deep within that engine, hidden from your customers' eyes, an enemy is gathering strength. It's not the competition across the street. It's not a bad review on Yelp. It's quieter, more insidious, and far more dangerous. It's the grease that's slowly, invisibly coating the walls behind your cook line. It's the microscopic colony of bacteria breeding in the grout between your floor tiles. It's the sticky, unseen residue on the fan guard of your walk-in cooler. The one that's struggling just a little bit more each day to keep your food at a safe temperature. This is the battleground nobody talks about. And ignoring it is the single most common and most fatal mistake a restaurant owner can make. Let me tell you a story. It's a story about a guy named Frank. Frank was a fantastic chef. His passion was food. He poured his life savings into opening a little bistro, Frank's Place. The food was incredible. People loved it. For the first year, he was living the dream. He was working 80-hour weeks, but he was happy. To save a few bucks, he had his dishwashers do the deep cleaning at the end of the night. A quick wipe down, mop the floors, take out the trash. He thought that was enough. He was focused on the food, on the customers, on the front of house. The back of house? As long as it looked clean enough, he figured he was fine. Frank was wrong. One Tuesday afternoon during the lunch rush, a man in a polo shirt with a clipboard walked in. The health inspector. Frank's heart immediately dropped into his stomach, but he put on a brave face. "Welcome. Let me show you around," he said. The inspector was polite, professional. He started in the front, which was spotless, but then he went into the kitchen, and the dream started to unravel. He pulled out a flashlight. He knelt and looked under the prep tables. He ran a gloved finger along the top of the dish machine. He asked Frank to pop the cover off the ice machine. Frank thought his kitchen was clean. To the naked eye, it was. But the inspector's flashlight revealed a different reality. He pointed out the thick, yellowish grease buildup on the gas lines behind the fryers. A massive fire hazard. He took a sample from the inside of the ice machine, where a thin, pinkish slime, a biofilm of bacteria, was growing undetected. He noted the dust and grime caked onto the condenser coils of the reach-in fridge, forcing the compressor to work overtime and creating temperature fluctuations that put every single item inside at risk. The violations started piling up. Cross-contamination risks from a cutting board that hadn't been properly sanitized, just wiped down. Evidence of pests near a back door with a worn-out door sweep. The final report was a nightmare. Frank was hit with a significant fine, money he desperately needed for payroll. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the letter B. They posted in his front window. Not a failing grade, but in the hyper-competitive world of restaurants, it might as well have been a death sentence. Someone took a picture of it. They posted it on a local foodies Facebook group. The caption was simple. Was going to try Frank's place, but maybe not today. That post was shared dozens of times. The comments were brutal. Suddenly, his reservations started canceling. The lunch rush thinned out. The dinner crowd became a handful of regulars who felt sorry for him. His dream was turning into a public humiliation. This isn't just about a letter grade. This is about the complex web of regulations that govern every commercial kitchen in the United States. And it's not just one agency you have to worry about. You have your local city or county health department, which is what happened to Frank. They're primarily concerned with the FDA Food Code, a massive document that sets the federal standard for food safety. They're looking for things that can cause foodborne illness, temperature control, cross-contamination, personal hygiene, and you guessed it, the cleanliness and sanitation of your equipment and facility. But they aren't the only ones watching. There's OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. They care about your employees. That greasy floor that your dishwasher mops every night? It's never truly clean. A thin film of atomized grease settles on it, and when combined with a little water, it creates a surface as slick as an ice rink. A slip-and-fall accident isn't just a tragedy for your employee. It's a potential lawsuit, a workers' compensation claim that can send your insurance premium skyrocketing. OSHA can levy massive fines for unsafe working conditions, and a perpetually greasy floor is a textbook violation. Then there's the fire marshal. They don't care about the bacteria in your ice machine. They care about the one thing that can turn a kitchen into an inferno in seconds: grease. Specifically, the grease in your kitchen exhaust system. That hood above your grill and fryers? It's designed to pull hot, grease-laden vapor out of your kitchen. But that grease doesn't just vanish. It accumulates inside the hood, in the ductwork running through your walls and ceiling, and on the exhaust fan on your roof. This isn't just a cleaning issue. It's a fuel load issue. That built-up grease, known as creosote, is incredibly flammable. All it takes is one flare-up from the grill to ignite that grease, and a duct fire can rip through your entire building before the fire department can even get there. The National Fire Protection Association has a standard for this, NFPA 96. It mandates regular, professional cleaning of exhaust systems for a reason. Ignoring it isn't just a violation. It's gambling with your life, the lives of your employees, and your entire investment. Frank's story didn't end with the B on the door. The financial pressure mounted. He had to cut hours. His best line cook, worried about the restaurant's stability and frankly, disgusted by the conditions the inspector had uncovered, quit. Morale plummeted. The stress took a toll on Frank. The joy was gone. The passion that had fueled him was replaced by a gnawing anxiety. He was no longer creating food. He was just trying to survive. 6 months after the inspector's visit, Frank's place closed its doors for good. He lost everything. His savings, his dream, his reputation. All because of an enemy he chose to ignore. An enemy that grew in the dark, in the corners, and behind the equipment. The tragedy of Frank is that this was all 100% preventable. He saw cleaning as an expense, a chore to be checked off a list as quickly and cheaply as possible. He didn't see it for what it truly is. An investment in safety, an investment in efficiency, an investment in quality, and an investment in his brand's reputation. He was a master of his craft, the culinary arts, but he was a novice in the science of the kitchen environment itself. And in this industry, that ignorance is a luxury no one can afford. Your kitchen is a living, breathing ecosystem. And if you don't control the environment will eventually control you. It will dictate your food quality when your refrigerator can't hold temp. It will dictate your employee safety when the floors are perpetually slick. It will dictate your legal standing with health and fire officials. And ultimately, it will dictate your success or failure. Frank's story is a cautionary tale, but it doesn't have to be your story. Because understanding these legal and safety requirements isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of that ecosystem and turning it from a potential liability into a source of strength. But the health inspector, the fire marshal, the bad reviews, they're just the external threats. The most devastating danger, the one that can sicken your customers and destroy your name overnight, is the one you can't see at all. And it's already there. It's a world teeming with life, an invisible ecosystem thriving in the microscopic cracks of your cutting boards, the damp corners under your sinks, and the glistening film on your stainless steel. It's a universe of single-celled organisms, and their only purpose is to multiply. 1 becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 becomes 16. In just a few hours, a single bacterium can spawn a colony of millions. They don't have malice. They don't have a plan. They are simply ancient, relentless survival machines. In your kitchen, it's the perfect incubator. It has everything they need: moisture, nutrients from microscopic food particles, and the ideal temperature range, what food safety experts call the temperature danger zone, from 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. A busy kitchen line is a tropical paradise for these invaders. We're talking about the pathogens that make national headlines. The names you hear on the news when a restaurant chain's stock plummets overnight. Let's name the culprits, the 5 most wanted fugitives on the FDA's list, the ones responsible for the vast majority of foodborne illness outbreaks. First, there's norovirus. This isn't a bacterium. It's a virus, and it is brutally effective. It's the leading cause of foodborne illness in the United States. It's incredibly contagious. It takes as few as 18 viral particles to make someone violently ill. An infected food handler just touching a ready-to-eat food item, a salad, a sandwich, a piece of fruit, is all it takes. They don't even have to be showing symptoms yet. It can survive on surfaces for days, even weeks, waiting for a hand to touch it and then touch a mouth. It's the ghost in the machine. The reason why wash your hands is the single most important rule in any kitchen. Then you have salmonella. This one you've heard of. It's the classic villain of raw chicken and undercooked eggs. But it's more versatile than you think. It can hide in produce that's been contaminated by water, in spices, in processed foods. When salmonella sets up shop in your gut, it causes fever, cramps, and worse. For the very young, the elderly, or those with compromised immune systems, it can be a killer. Next is a specific nasty strain of E. coli, the Shiga toxin-producing E. coli, or STC. While most E. coli are harmless residents of our intestines, this strain is a biological weapon. It's famously associated with undercooked ground beef, but like salmonella, it's an opportunist. It can be found in unpasteurized milk, contaminated water, and fresh produce like spinach or lettuce. The toxin it produces attacks the lining of your intestine, and in severe cases, can lead to kidney failure and death. And let's not forget Shigella and hepatitis A. Shigella is another bacterium that spreads from hands to food, a classic contamination route. Hepatitis A is a virus that attacks the liver, and it can be transmitted by a food worker who is infected, sometimes weeks before they even know they're sick. These aren't just abstract scientific names. They are the agents of chaos that can turn a beloved neighborhood eatery into a public health hazard. And no one knows this better than Chipotle. In 2015, Chipotle Mexican Grill was the darling of the fast casual world. They were on top of the world. They championed food with integrity. They sourced fresh, local ingredients. They were seen as the healthy, ethical alternative to traditional fast food. Their stock was soaring. People didn't just like Chipotle, they believed in it. And then the reports started trickling in. First, it was a cluster of illnesses in Seattle. Then, a larger outbreak in Oregon and Washington. The CDC got involved. The culprit was identified: E. coli 026, one of those nasty STC strains. The media storm was instantaneous. Chipotle, the brand that built its entire identity on fresh, clean food, was making people sick. They closed 43 restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. But it was too late. The damage was done and it was about to get worse. Soon after, a different crisis erupted. Over 140 students at Boston College were hit with norovirus after eating at a local Chipotle. It was a separate, unrelated incident, which almost made it worse. It suggested a systemic problem, not a one-off contamination of a single ingredient. The headlines were brutal. The late-night talk show hosts had a field day. People who once evangelized their burrito bowls were now afraid to walk past the door. Their sales plummeted by 30%. Their stock price was cut in half, wiping out billions of dollars in market value. The company was hit with a federal criminal investigation and a massive fine. But the financial cost, as staggering as it was, paled in comparison to the destruction of their most valuable asset, trust. The trust they had spent years and millions of dollars to build vanished in a matter of weeks. So what happened? How did a company so focused on quality get it so wrong? The investigation revealed a cascade of failures. The E. coli was likely traced back to contaminated beef from a supplier. The norovirus was spread by a sick employee who was pressured to work their shift. These were the sparks. But the kitchen environment was the kindling. Investigators pointed to breakdowns in food safety protocols. Employees weren't strictly following hand-washing procedures. Sick leave policies were inadequate. The very commitment to fresh ingredients, which meant more hands-on prep in each individual restaurant, actually increased the number of opportunities for contamination to occur. Chipotle had to reinvent itself. They closed every single one of their stores nationwide for a 4-hour, all-hands meeting on food safety. They implemented new protocols, from blanching ingredients to centralized preparation of things like tomatoes and lettuce. They invested tens of millions of dollars in technology, training, and a new food safety culture. Took them years to recover. Some would argue their brand never fully regained the godlike status it once had. Now you might be sitting there thinking, that's Chipotle. They're a billion-dollar giant. I'm just a small independent restaurant. That can't happen to me. And that is the single most dangerous thought you can have. It's actually easier for it to happen to you. You don't have a corporate legal team, a PR department, or a $100 million war chest to weather the storm. For you, an outbreak isn't a quarterly loss. It's a death sentence. A handful of sick customers, a single report on the local news, a flurry of one-star Yelp reviews describing their violent illness. That's all it takes. Your reputation, your life's work, can be erased overnight. The microbial world doesn't care if you're a national chain or a family-owned diner. The biology is the same. A contaminated head of lettuce is just as dangerous in your walk-in cooler as it is in theirs. A sick employee who can't afford to miss a shift is the same ticking time bomb. This is why understanding the science of clean isn't just about passing a health inspection. It's about waging a constant, daily war against an invisible enemy. And in this war, words matter. Most people use the words clean, sanitize, and disinfect interchangeably. In your kitchen, there are 3 completely different levels of defense. Cleaning is the first step. It's the physical removal of dirt, food, and grime from a surface. It's what you do with soap, water, and a scrub brush. Cleaning is essential because you can't kill germs that are hiding under a layer of grease or food residue. If a surface isn't clean, it cannot be properly sanitized. Sanitizing is the next level. This is where you reduce the number of microorganisms on a surface to a safe level. This is done with chemical sanitizers or high heat, like in a commercial dishwasher. This is what kills the vast majority of those dangerous pathogens we talked about. But here's the critical detail most people miss. Contact time. Your sanitizer isn't a magic spray. The chemical needs to sit on the surface wet for a specific amount of time, often 30 to 60 seconds, to do its job. If your staff is just spraying and immediately wiping, they are not sanitizing. They are just spreading a wet chemical around. Disinfecting is the highest level of microbial warfare. Kills virtually everything. You use disinfectants on non-food contact surfaces, especially in high-risk areas like restrooms. You don't disinfect a cutting board, you sanitize it. You disinfect the bathroom door handle. Understanding this progression, clean first, then sanitize, and executing it perfectly every single time on every single surface, is the bedrock of food safety. It's the difference between a safe kitchen and a ticking time bomb like the one that blew up in Chipotle's face. This is the battle against the living threat. A battle of diligence, training, and an unwavering commitment to process. You can win this battle. You can create a fortress of food safety that protects your customers and your business. But there's another enemy in your kitchen. This one isn't alive. It doesn't multiply. It just builds up silently day after day, layer by patient layer. You can kill every last bacterium, sanitize every surface until it gleams, but you might be ignoring the slow-burning fuse that's already been lit inside your walls. The one that doesn't make people sick. It makes them disappear. It's not a kidnapping. It's not a mystery for a paperback novel. The disappearance is far more absolute and far more common. One night, a beloved neighborhood diner is there. The heart of a block, its windows glowing warm. The next morning, it's a hollowed-out blackened shell. A ghost. The building is still there, but the restaurant, the business, the jobs, the dream, it has vanished. Wiped from existence by the most terrifying and preventable disaster in the food service industry. A commercial kitchen fire. And the arsonist wasn't a person with a match and a can of gasoline. The arsonist was last night's dinner. Every time a steak sizzles, a burger chars, or fries hit the hot oil, a tiny, almost invisible cloud rises. It's not just steam. It's a vaporized cocktail of grease, oil, and smoke particles. We call this effluent. And your kitchen's most important piece of safety equipment, the exhaust hood system, is designed to suck it all up and away from your cooks and your customers. It's a brilliant system. It pulls that hot, greasy air up through filters into the hood, through a long maze of ductwork, and finally vents it out onto the roof. Out of sight, out of mind. But here's the problem. It doesn't all make it out. As that hot, vaporized grease travels through the cooler metal of the ductwork, it performs a neat little science trick. It condenses. It turns from a gas back into a liquid, and then as it cools further, into a sticky semi-solid. It clings to the inside of your ventilation system. Layer by imperceptible layer, it builds up. First, it's just a greasy film. Then it becomes a thick, tar-like sludge. Finally, it hardens into a solid fuel source. You've essentially lined your entire exhaust system. A metal chimney that runs the height of your building, with the equivalent of a giant candle wick. You've built a highway for fire, paved with the very essence of everything you cook. This isn't just a cleaning issue. It's a bomb defusal issue. You are housing a dragon in your ductwork, and every single day you operate, you are feeding it. All it takes is one small spark. A flare-up on the charbroiler. A wok that gets a little too hot and ignites. A stray ember from a wood-fired pizza oven. It's a normal, everyday occurrence on a busy line. But if your hood filters are clogged with grease, that flame doesn't just die down. It leaps. It finds the fuel it's been waiting for. The flame gets sucked into the hood, and in a split second it ignites that greasy film. And now the fire isn't on your cooktop anymore. It's inside your walls. Once inside the ductwork, a grease fire is a completely different animal. It has an almost unlimited supply of oxygen being pulled through by the exhaust fan, which acts like a giant bellows, fanning the flames into a roaring inferno. The temperature can skyrocket to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt aluminum, crack concrete, and cause steel support beams to warp and fail. The fire races through the ductwork at unbelievable speeds, a blowtorch seeking an exit. It can burst through the seams of the metal, igniting wood framing, insulation, and electrical wiring in the ceiling and walls. Or it can rocket all the way to the roof, shooting out of the exhaust fan like a jet engine and igniting roofing materials, potentially spreading to the entire building and even neighboring properties. Firefighters will tell you a structure fire is one thing. A commercial kitchen grease fire is a battle. They can't just spray it with water. That can cause an explosive reaction with the burning grease, making it catastrophically worse. They have to use special chemical agents, and they have to fight it from the cooktop all the way to the roof. By the time they gain control, the damage is often absolute. The water, the smoke, the chemical retardants, and the fire itself leave nothing salvageable. The disappearance is complete. So how do you stop this from happening? You don't. You can't stop flare-ups. You can't stop grease from vaporizing. The only thing you can do is eliminate the fuel. And this is where we move from a scary story to a life-saving, business-saving rulebook. It's called NFPA 96. The National Fire Protection Association Standard 96 is, without exaggeration, the Bible for ventilation control and fire protection of commercial cooking operations. It's not a suggestion. It is the standard adopted into fire code in virtually every jurisdiction in the United States. Your fire marshal, your insurance provider, your health inspector, they all live and die by this code. And it is brutally specific about how and when your exhaust system must be cleaned. The standard sets a minimum frequency for inspection and cleaning, and it's based entirely on the type and volume of cooking you do. If you're running a high-volume operation with solid fuel cooking, Think wood-fired ovens or charcoal grills. You're required to have your entire system cleaned, from hood to fan, every single month. No exceptions. For high-volume operations using standard gas or electric equipment, like a 24-hour diner or a busy steakhouse, the requirement is quarterly, 4 times a year. For moderate volume operations, your typical lunch and dinner spot, the standard is semi-annually, twice a year. And for low-volume kitchens like a church, a day camp, or a seasonal spot, it's annually. Notice the word system. This isn't about your cooks wiping down the stainless steel hood at the end of a shift. This is about a certified professional getting inside the ductwork. It means bare metal clean. They use specialized scrapers, high-pressure hot water, and food safety greasers to remove every last trace of that solidified grease from the interior surfaces of the hood, the ductwork, and the exhaust fan on the roof. They are, quite literally, defusing the bomb. They will often install access panels, cutting directly into the ductwork to ensure they can reach every single inch. And when they're done, they provide a certificate, a sticker they place on the hood with the date of service. That little sticker is one of the most important documents in your entire restaurant. Because if the worst happens, if a fire does break out, that sticker is your proof of due diligence. It's the first thing the fire investigator and the insurance adjuster will look for. If you cannot prove that your system was cleaned according to NFPA 96 standards by a qualified professional, you can expect your insurance claim to be flatly denied. Imagine that. You've paid your premiums for years, only to be told that because you tried to save a few $100s on a cleaning, your policy is void. You lose everything with no safety net. Even worse, if the fire spreads and damages other property or, heaven forbid, injures someone, you could be found criminally negligent. The savings from skipping a cleaning are erased a million times over by the liability you assume. So, how do you know if your current provider is doing the job right, or if you're at risk? Go look. Take a flashlight and look up past the filters into the plenum. That's the chamber directly behind them. Do you see thick, black buildup? Check the areas around the hood. Are there telltale drips of grease running down the backsplash? Go up on the roof and look at your exhaust fan. Is it caked in grease? A properly cleaned fan should look almost new. These are red flags. A hood cleaner who only cleans what you can see is not a professional. They are a liability. They are leaving the fuel in the most dangerous, inaccessible parts of the system. They are taking your money while leaving the dragon very much alive. The fire is the loudest, most dramatic threat that professional cleaning neutralizes. It's the monster that can devour your life's work in a single night. But extinguishing this threat is just the beginning. Because even if you prevent the fire, there are other forces at work, other silent destroyers that thrive in the exact same conditions of filth and neglect. They don't burn your restaurant down. They eat it. They eat your food, they eat your profits, and they eat your reputation one tiny disgusting bite at a time. Let's talk about that bite. It's not just one pest. It's an army. And your kitchen, if it's not impeccably clean, is the all-you-can-eat buffet they've been dreaming of. This isn't an exaggeration. This is the nightly reality for thousands of US restaurants that cut corners on deep cleaning. They lock up for the night, turn off the lights, and the second shift clocks in. This shift doesn't wear uniforms. They have 6 legs or long scaly tails, or wings that buzz with the ghosts of every disgusting thing they've touched that day. First, let's talk about the hard-shelled special forces of filth. The cockroach. There is no creature on earth better adapted to thrive in your neglect. That tiny smear of grease you left on the wall behind the fryer? That's a 7-course meal for a cockroach. The little pool of stagnant water under the leaky sink? That's their drinking fountain and swimming pool. They are biological marvels of survival. They can live for a week without a head. They can hold their breath for 40 minutes. Some can withstand radiation levels that would kill a human 10 times over. Do you really think a casual wipe down at the end of the night is going to deter a creature like that? When you see one cockroach scuttling across the floor in the daylight, the old saying is that for every one you see, there are 100 hiding in the walls. That's not just an old wives' tale. It's a terrifying mathematical reality. They are masters of concealment. They flatten their bodies to slip into the tiniest cracks in your floorboards, behind your baseboards, inside the warm, dark, greasy guts of your cooking equipment. And while they're in there, they're not just hiding. They are breeding. A single female German cockroach, the most common species in US restaurants, can be responsible for the creation of over 30,000 descendants in a single year. 30,000. And every single one of them is a tiny mobile biological weapon. They walk through sewers across decaying garbage over animal feces, And then they march those same filthy little feet all over your cutting boards, your prep surfaces, your utensils, and into your uncovered bins of flour and sugar. They carry Salmonella, E. coli, and dozens of other pathogens. They leave behind droppings, shed skins, and secrete an oily, foul-smelling liquid that contaminates everything it touches. Your customers will never know what made them sick. They'll just know they got sick after eating at your restaurant. But as bad as cockroaches are, they're just the ground troops. Then come the saboteurs, the rodents, rats and mice. These aren't just passive carriers of disease. They are active agents of destruction. A mouse can squeeze its body through a hole the size of a dime. A rat can fit through a hole the size of a quarter. They are masters of infiltration, and once they're inside, they treat your restaurant like their personal kingdom. They have teeth that never stop growing, which means they have a biological imperative to gnaw constantly to wear them down. They will chew through wood, plastic, drywall, and even soft metals. And their absolute favorite thing to chew on? Electrical wiring. Remember our discussion about fires? A significant percentage of fires with an undetermined cause are suspected to be started by rodents chewing through the insulation on electrical wires, creating a short circuit inside your walls that sparks and ignites the grease-soaked dust and insulation. They can burn your restaurant to the ground without ever striking a match. And the contamination they bring is on a whole other level. A single mouse can produce up to 80 droppings in a single day. A rat can urinate almost constantly as it runs, leaving a trail of disease-laden filth wherever it goes. If a rat runs across a 50-pound bag of rice, that entire bag is now considered contaminated. It has to be thrown out. The financial loss is staggering. We're talking about thousands of dollars of inventory destroyed, not because it was eaten, but because it was simply touched by these creatures. They carry hantavirus, salmonellosis, leptospirosis, diseases that can be severely harmful, even fatal to humans. And they are smart. They learn to avoid traps. They learn your staff schedule. They are a relentless, intelligent, and destructive force. Then you have the aerial assault. The common housefly. We're so used to them we barely give them a second thought. But in a commercial kitchen, a fly is not an annoyance. It's a catastrophe with wings. Let's trace the journey of a single fly before it lands on that beautiful burger patty you're about to serve. It likely started its day on a pile of rotting garbage in the dumpster out back, or perhaps on a pile of dog feces on the sidewalk. A fly doesn't have teeth, so it can't chew solid food. Instead, it vomits digestive enzymes onto its meal to liquefy it before sucking it up. So this fly, fresh from a meal of liquefied dog feces, lands on your prep station. It walks around for a few seconds, and with every step, it tracks unimaginable filth. It might vomit a little of its last meal to see if your prep station is edible. In those few seconds, it has potentially transferred millions of bacteria, including Shigella and cholera. It's a flying, vomiting, disease-spreading nightmare that we've been conditioned to just shoo away. In a restaurant setting, the presence of flies is a screaming red flag that there is a source of filth nearby. A clogged drain, an overflowing dumpster, or food debris left to rot. Cockroaches, rodents, flies. They are the unholy trinity of restaurant pests. And they thrive on one thing and one thing only: a lack of cleanliness. They are not an act of God. They are a direct result of operational failure. Grease buildup is not a fire hazard. It is a cockroach buffet. Crumbs on the floor are not just messy. They are a formal invitation to a rodent family. A slow drain isn't a plumbing issue. It's a fly nursery. Every shortcut you take on cleaning, every spot you miss with the mop, every piece of equipment you fail to break down and deep clean, you are actively rolling out the red carpet for these invaders. And the cost goes far beyond a few thrown-out bags of flour. The real cost is catastrophic. It's the health inspector, clipboard in hand, shining a flashlight under your shelves and finding a collection of rodent droppings. That's an instant shutdown. A bright orange sign on your front door for the whole world to see. It's the customer who finds half a cockroach in their salad and posts a picture on Instagram that gets shared 10,000 times before you've even had a chance to apologize. Your reputation, the one you spent years in your life savings building, can be utterly vaporized in a single afternoon because of a single bug. The war against pests isn't one with traps and poisons. Those are defensive measures you take after your fortress has already been breached. The war is won with soap and water, with degreaser and scrub brushes, with a relentless top-to-bottom, no stone unturned commitment to professional cleaning. You don't fight an army by setting a few traps. You win by cutting off their supply lines. You remove their food, you remove their water, and you remove their shelter. A professionally clean kitchen is a barren desert to a pest. A dirty kitchen is the promised land. But even if you manage to keep the fires at bay and the pests out, there is another enemy waiting. An enemy you can't see, can't smell, and can't hear. It's already on your hands, on your surfaces, and in your food, waiting for a single moment of carelessness to launch an attack that can sicken hundreds and put a permanent end to your business. This enemy is microscopic, but its power to destroy is anything but. And this enemy has names you know and fear. Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, norovirus. These aren't just abstract terms from a health department pamphlet. They are silent, ruthlessly efficient assassins that have toppled empires. And to understand their power, we need to look at one of the most infamous case studies in modern American restaurant history. A story of a brand that built its reputation on freshness, quality, and trust, and how that trust was shattered in a matter of weeks. Let's go back to 2015. Chipotle Mexican Grill was the darling of the fast casual world. They were unstoppable. People lined up out the door for their customizable burritos and bowls. Their slogan was "Food with Integrity." They championed non-GMO ingredients, responsibly raised meat, and farm-to-table sourcing. They weren't just selling food. They were selling a lifestyle, a virtuous choice. Their stock price was soaring, and they seemed to have the golden touch. But deep within their supply chain, and potentially within the walls of their own kitchens, a time bomb was ticking. In October of that year it began. A few reports surfaced in Washington and Oregon. People who had eaten at Chipotle were getting sick, violently ill. The symptoms were brutal. Severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting. This wasn't just a 24-hour bug. This was something different, something more sinister. Local health departments began to investigate, and soon the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, was called in. The nightmare had begun. The culprit was identified. Shiga toxin-producing E. coli O26. This isn't your garden variety food poisoning. This is a strain that can lead to kidney failure and, in some cases, death. As the CDC's investigation widened, the crisis exploded. The outbreak wasn't contained to the Pacific Northwest. Cases popped up in California, New York, Ohio, Minnesota, eventually spreading to over a dozen states. The national media descended. Every headline was a body blow to Chipotle's Food with Integrity image. The very thing that made them famous, their commitment to fresh, unprocessed ingredients, was now their greatest vulnerability. Fresh produce, unlike processed foods, doesn't go through a kill step to eliminate pathogens. It relies almost entirely on perfect handling, perfect storage, and perfect cleaning from the farm to the fork. Somewhere in that chain, perfection had failed. Imagine being the CEO. Your company, worth billions, is now the poster child for a national foodborne illness outbreak. Your customers, who once evangelized your brand, are now terrified of it. The financial fallout was catastrophic. Chipotle's sales plummeted by over 30%. The company's stock price was cut in half, wiping out more than $11 billion in market value. They were forced to close dozens of stores for deep cleaning and sanitation. They implemented sweeping new food safety protocols, from blanching vegetables to centralized food prep. But the damage was done. The trust, so carefully built over years, had evaporated overnight. The CDC was never able to pinpoint the exact single ingredient that caused the outbreak. And that, right there, is the most terrifying lesson for every single person running a commercial kitchen. It could have been contaminated cilantro from one supplier. It could have been steak that wasn't handled properly. Or, and this is the crucial part, it could have been cross-contamination right inside one of their kitchens. A sick employee who didn't wash their hands properly. A cutting board used for raw meat, and then for lettuce without being sanitized. A single momentary lapse in protocol that unleashed a microscopic plague, sickening over 60 people across the country and bringing a corporate giant to its knees. So how does this happen? How does an invisible organism hijack a kitchen and turn it into a weapon? It happens because we underestimate the enemy. We think a quick wipe with a sanitizer is enough. We get complacent. But bacteria operate on a level of complexity we can't see. They thrive in what's known as the food temperature danger zone. The range between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the temperature of a lukewarm prep table, a pot of soup left to cool too slowly, a walk-in cooler that isn't quite cold enough. In this zone, bacteria like E. coli and salmonella can double their population every 20 minutes. Think about that. A single cell becomes 2. 2 become 4. 4 becomes 16. In just a few hours, a single harmless bacterium can multiply into a colony of millions, an invisible army ready to contaminate every surface it touches. But it gets worse. Bacteria are not just free-floating particles. They are master survivors. When they find a hospitable surface, a stainless steel prep table, the inside of a floor drain, the grout between your tiles, the gasket on a refrigerator door, they don't just sit there. They build fortresses. They excrete a sticky, slimy substance that creates a protective shield around their colony. This shield is called a biofilm. Biofilm is the supervillain of the kitchen cleaning world. It's a microscopic, impenetrable slime city for bacteria. It's highly resistant to heat, drying, and most importantly, many common sanitizers and disinfectants. You can spray a surface with sanitizer, and you might kill the bacteria on the top layer. But underneath that biofilm shield, the colony is safe, protected, and continuing to multiply. You can't see it. You might not even be able to feel it. But it's there. The only way to defeat biofilm is through what the industry calls the double tap. First, you must use a proper cleaning agent and physical friction, good old-fashioned scrubbing, to break down and remove that protective slime layer. Only then, once the bacteria are exposed and vulnerable, can a sanitizer do its job and actually kill them. If you are just spraying sanitizer on a surface that hasn't been properly scrubbed and cleaned first, you are engaging in a form of sanitation theater. You are giving yourself a false sense of security while leaving the enemy's fortress completely intact, ready to recontaminate your surfaces the moment your back is turned. Every single commercial kitchen in America has biofilm. The question is not if you have it, but where it is and what you are doing to destroy it. It's in the hard-to-reach corners of your meat slicer. It's lining the tubes of your soda fountain. It's growing in the damp, dark crevices under your 3-compartment sink. The Chipotle story is a brutal reminder that integrity isn't just about where you buy your ingredients. It's about what happens to those ingredients every single second they are under your roof. It's about the discipline to follow every protocol every time without exception. Because the microscopic world doesn't care about your brand's mission statement. It doesn't care about your quarterly earnings. It only understands opportunity. And a kitchen that cuts corners on cleaning is giving it the ultimate opportunity to grow, to spread, and to destroy. The bacterial threat is real, it's persistent, and it requires constant, vigilant warfare. But these microbial invaders aren't the only invisible enemies lying in wait. There's another threat, one that doesn't grow on your surfaces, but crawls and scurries behind your walls and under your floors, carrying its own host of diseases. We're talking about pests, the uninvited guests that can turn a 5-star kitchen into a public health nightmare overnight. Cockroaches, rodents, and flies aren't just a nuisance. They are mobile bioweapons. A single German cockroach, the most common species in American restaurants, can carry pathogens for Salmonella, Staphylococcus, and Streptococcus. They walk through filth, sewers, and drains, and then they walk across your cutting boards, your prep tables, and your clean dishes, leaving a trail of invisible contamination. Their droppings and shed skins can trigger severe allergic reactions and asthma attacks in both staff and customers. Then there are the rodents. A mouse can squeeze through a hole the size of a dime, a rat through a hole the size of a quarter. Once inside, they are contamination machines. Their urine and droppings can spread diseases like hantavirus and leptospirosis. They gnaw through wiring, creating fire hazards. They destroy packaging, contaminating food supplies with a single touch. And they reproduce at a terrifying rate. 2 rats can become over 1,200 in just 1 year. It's an exponential invasion. Flies are no better. They land on decaying matter and garbage, then land on the food you're about to serve, vomiting digestive juices and defecating every time they stop. They are perfect vectors for transmitting E. coli and Shigella bacteria, the agents behind horrific food poisoning outbreaks. An infestation is more than just a biological threat. It's a death sentence for a restaurant's reputation. A single sighting, 1 photo posted online, 1 report to the health department, and everything you've built can be destroyed. The fines are steep, the forced closures are humiliating, and the trust you've earned from your community can evaporate in an instant. So, how do you fight an enemy that can slip through the tiniest crack and multiplies in the shadows? You don't just fight them when you see them. You wage a constant strategic war. And your primary weapon isn't poison or traps. It's your cleaning protocol. Professional pest control is essential, but even the best exterminator in the world will fail if they're fighting in a dirty kitchen. You have to remove what pests need to survive. It all comes down to 3 things: food, water, and shelter. Take away these three pillars of survival, and you make your kitchen an uninhabitable desert for them. Let's start with food. To us, it's a crumb on the floor, a small splash of soda on the counter, a tiny bit of grease spatter behind the fryer. To a pest, it's a feast. A single greasy crumb can sustain a cockroach for days. This is why the clean-as-you-go philosophy isn't just a suggestion, it's a critical defense strategy. Every spill must be cleaned up immediately and thoroughly. But it's the deep structural cleaning that truly starves them out. The areas you can't easily see are their primary feeding grounds. Think about the space underneath your heavy equipment, your ranges, your fryers, your prep tables. It's a dark, warm, and often forgotten world where flour, sugar, grease, and food particles accumulate. This is a five-star buffet for cockroaches and rodents. Pulling out this equipment regularly and scrubbing the floor and walls behind and beneath it is non-negotiable. The legs and casters of your equipment must be wiped down. Grease isn't just food. It's a superfood for pests. It's high energy and sticks to surfaces, providing a long-lasting meal. This is why degreasing your kitchen is a frontline pest control measure. Your vent hoods, your filters, your backsplashes, and especially your fryer cabinets must be meticulously degreased. That sticky film of aerosolized grease that settles on every surface is an open invitation. Your waste management is another critical battleground. Trash cans must have tight-fitting lids and be emptied frequently. You can't just take the bag out. You have to clean and sanitize the can itself. The residue at the bottom is a powerful attractant. Your outdoor dumpster area is the pest's forward operating base. It must be kept clean with the dumpster lids always closed. The pad it sits on should be regularly pressure washed to remove the foul-smelling, pest-attracting grime that leaks out. Next, let's cut off their water supply. Pests need water just as much as they need food. A rat can't survive more than a few days without it. A cockroach can live for a month without food, but only a week without water. Your kitchen is full of water sources you might not even think about. A slow drip from a faucet or a pipe under a sink is an oasis. A small puddle of condensation from an ice machine or a walk-in cooler provides a permanent drinking fountain. Mops left in buckets, wet rags left on counters, and standing water on the floor after mopping are all life support systems for an infestation. Your drains are superhighways and breeding grounds. They are dark, wet, and full of the organic sludge that pests love to eat. Regular and thorough drain cleaning, using biological drain cleaners that eat away at the grime, is absolutely essential. Floor sinks, in particular, need to be scrubbed daily. Ensuring your floors are completely dry at the end of the night isn't just a slip-and-fall prevention measure. It's a dehydration tactic against your enemy. Finally, you must deny them shelter. Pests need a place to hide, rest, and breed, safe from light and human activity. They crave clutter. Old and used equipment, stacks of empty boxes, piles of linens. These are luxury apartments for rodents and cockroaches. Cardboard, in particular, is a pest's best friend. It's porous, absorbs moisture and food smells, and the corrugated spaces inside are perfect for cockroaches to lay their eggs. This is why all food deliveries should be unpacked immediately, and the cardboard boxes removed from the building as quickly as possible. Never use cardboard to line shelves. Your storage areas, like your dry pantry and walk-in coolers, must be kept impeccably organized. Everything must be stored in sealed, airtight containers made of plastic or metal, never in the original paper or cardboard packaging. And everything must be stored at least 6 inches off the floor and away from the walls. This not only prevents pests from getting into your food supply, but it also allows you to see them if they are present and makes it easy to clean the floors and walls. A cluttered, disorganized pantry is a hidden city for pests. By systematically eliminating their access to food, water, and shelter through a rigorous, unyielding cleaning schedule, you transform your kitchen from a welcoming sanctuary into a hostile environment. You create an invisible shield that pests cannot penetrate. Your cleaning crew and your staff become the guardians of that shield. They are not just mopping floors and wiping counters. They are defending the health of your customers and the very existence of your business from a relentless, invasive force. By starving them out and destroying their homes, you create a fortress they can't breach. But even in a fortress free of pests and pathogens, a different kind of danger can build up, silently, day after day. A danger that doesn't just make you sick. It can burn your entire dream to the ground in a matter of minutes. We're talking about fire. But not just any fire. We're talking about the silent, creeping threat of a commercial kitchen grease fire. This isn't the kind of fire that starts with an obvious mistake, a towel left too close to a burner. This is a fire that starts with chemistry, with physics, and with neglect. It's a fire that doesn't just burn your kitchen. It travels through the very veins of your building, an unstoppable inferno fueled by the byproduct of your own success. Every single time your line cooks, grill a steak, sear a piece of fish, or drop a basket of fries, something invisible happens. Microscopic particles of grease and oil, vaporized fat, are launched into the air. Your powerful exhaust hood is designed to capture this greasy air and vent it outside. And it does. But it's not a perfect system. As that hot, greasy air travels through the cooler metal of your vent hood, your plenum, your ductwork, and your rooftop fan, it begins to cool and condense. The grease particles turn back into a sticky, semi-solid state, clinging to every surface they touch. Day after day, week after week, this residue builds up. It starts as a thin, oily film. Then it becomes a thick, sticky sludge. Eventually, it bakes into a hard, black, carbonized layer. This substance has a name: creosote. And if that word sounds familiar, it's because it's the same substance that builds up in a fireplace chimney and causes devastating house fires. In your kitchen, you are unintentionally lining your entire ventilation system with solid fuel. You are building a candle wick that stretches from the open flames of your grill, all the way through the walls and ceilings of your restaurant, and onto your roof. All it takes is one small spark. A single momentary flare-up from a charbroiler. A stray ember from a wood-fired oven. A wok that gets a little too hot. That spark gets sucked into the exhaust system, and it finds the fuel you've been storing up for it. The fire ignites inside the ductwork, where you can't see it and you can't fight it. The exhaust fan, still running, acts like a blacksmith's bellows, pumping oxygen directly into the fire, turning it into a blowtorch. It can heat the metal ducts to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to ignite the wooden studs, insulation, and wiring inside your walls. By the time you see smoke, it's already too late. The fire is above you, around you, and spreading with terrifying speed. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It happens hundreds of times every year, destroying businesses, livelihoods, and dreams. Consider the story of a beloved family-owned Italian restaurant in Pennsylvania. For 30 years, it was a community landmark. The owner had taken it over from his father. It was his entire life. One evening, during the dinner rush, a fire started. It didn't start on the cook line. It started in the walls. It had ignited in the exhaust duct that ran from the kitchen up to the second floor. The fire department report later concluded that an excessive buildup of grease inside the unclean ductwork was the cause. The fire gutted the entire historic building. The family had insurance, of course. But when the insurance investigators came, they asked for the service records for the kitchen exhaust cleaning. The records weren't up to date. The cleanings hadn't been performed at the required frequency. The insurance company, citing a breach of the policy's safety and maintenance clauses, denied the multi-million-dollar claim. 30 years of family history gone, the owner didn't just lose his restaurant. He was left with the bill for the demolition of a pile of ashes. This is the brutal reality that every restaurant owner in America needs to understand. This isn't just about good housekeeping. It's about legal and financial survival. The standard that governs this is called NFPA 96. That's NFPA 96. It stands for the National Fire Protection Association, and their Standard 96 is the definitive code for ventilation control and fire protection of commercial cooking operations. This isn't some vague guideline. It's a detailed, legally binding standard adopted by fire marshals, building inspectors, and most importantly, insurance companies across the United States. NFPA 96 is crystal clear. It states that the entire exhaust system, from the hood in the kitchen to the fan on the roof, must be inspected for grease buildup. And if the buildup is significant, it must be cleaned by a properly trained, qualified, and certified person. The code even specifies the frequency. If you're running a high-volume operation with charbroiling or wood-fired cooking, you need to have your system inspected on a monthly basis. For most busy 24-hour restaurants, it's quarterly. For moderate volume operations, it's semi-annually. And for low-volume kitchens like a church or a day camp, it's annually. Ignoring this is a gamble you cannot afford to take. Let's be blunt about the consequences. First, as we saw in the story, your insurance company can and will deny your fire claim if you cannot prove you complied with NFPA 96. The policy you sign is a contract, and you are contractually obligated to maintain a safe premises. A grease-laden duct system is, by definition, not safe. No records, no check. You lose everything. Second, the fire marshal or health inspector can shut you down on the spot. During a routine inspection, they will check your system. They'll look at your filters, shine a flashlight up into your plenum, and they will absolutely ask to see your service records and the certification sticker on your hood. If they deem your system a fire hazard, they have the authority to close your doors immediately until it is professionally cleaned. That's lost revenue, lost reputation, and a giant red flag for your insurance provider. And third, and most terrifying, is the liability. If a fire in your restaurant injures an employee, a customer, or a firefighter, or if it spreads and damages neighboring properties, you are facing catastrophic lawsuits. If it can be proven that you were negligent in maintaining your exhaust system, the corporate veil might not protect you. We're talking about personal business-ending, life-altering liability. The core of the problem is that the most dangerous part of your kitchen is completely invisible. You and your staff clean the floors, the grills, the fryers every single night. But you can't see inside the 30, 40, or 50 feet of ductwork that's twisting through your ceiling. Your nightly cleaning crew doesn't have the training or the equipment to deal with it. They can't set up the scaffolding, they don't have the specialized chemical foamers, the high-pressure steam cleaners, or the scrapers on long extension poles needed to reach every inch of that system. This is not a do-it-yourself job. This is a job for certified professionals. A professional kitchen exhaust cleaning is an incredibly thorough and frankly messy process. A reputable company will come in after you close. They will cover all your cooking equipment and surrounding surfaces in heavy-duty plastic sheeting. They will remove the filters and soak them in a degreasing solution. Then they will access the interior of the system, often by removing panels or access ports. They use powerful food-safe chemical degreasers that foam up and cling to the thick grease, breaking it down. Then, they use high-pressure hot water washers to blast every last bit of that residue away, funneling the contaminated water into collection containers. They go up on the roof, dismantle the exhaust fan housing, and clean the fan blades and the rooftop portion of the ductwork. The goal is simple and absolute: to return the entire system to bare metal. When they are finished after hours of intense work, they reassemble everything and polish the exterior of your hood. But the most important thing they leave behind is a small dated sticker. They place it on the hood in plain sight. That sticker is your proof. It's a legal document. It tells the fire marshal, the health inspector, and your insurance agent that you are in compliance with the law and that you are taking fire safety seriously. That little sticker is your shield, protecting your investment, your employees, and your dream from going up in flames. Protecting your restaurant from this catastrophic, yet entirely preventable, disaster is one of the most fundamental responsibilities you have as an owner. But the benefits of a truly deep, professional clean go far beyond just mitigating risk. A clean kitchen impacts everything. It affects the efficiency of your equipment, the morale of your staff, the quality of the air in your building, and even the taste of your food. A clean kitchen isn't just a safe kitchen. It's a more profitable one. And that's where we're going next. Let's talk about the bottom line. Because every decision a restaurant owner makes, from the menu to the marketing, comes down to one thing: profitability. And the state of your kitchen is one of the most powerful, yet most overlooked levers you can pull to directly impact that bottom line. This isn't about lofty ideals. This is about cold, hard cash. First, let's talk about your equipment. That gleaming stainless steel army that costs tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Think about your deep fryer. When caked on carbon and grease insulate its heating elements, it has to fight. It has to burn hotter and longer just to maintain temperature. That's not just poor performance. That's a direct hit to your utility bill every single day. Now think about your walk-in cooler. When the condenser coils are choked with dust and grime, the compressor has to run constantly, straining itself just to keep your food safe. It's like forcing a marathon runner to breathe through a straw. The result? Skyrocketing energy costs and a drastically shortened lifespan for a critical, expensive piece of machinery. A professional cleaning service doesn't just wipe things down. They degrease, delime, and decarbonize this equipment, restoring it to peak operational efficiency. Suddenly, that fryer heats up faster using less gas. That cooler cycles on and off like it's supposed to, sipping electricity instead of guzzling it. We're talking about a potential 5 to 15% reduction in your energy bills. For some restaurants, that's thousands of dollars a year straight back into your pocket. More importantly, you're extending the life of your assets. A $10,000 convection oven that lasts 10 years instead of 6 because it was properly maintained isn't a hypothetical saving. That is a real, tangible financial victory. That's capital you can reinvest in a new POS system, a marketing campaign, or a well-deserved bonus for your executive chef. Next, let's move from saving money to actively making more of it. And it starts with your staff. The restaurant industry has one of the highest employee turnover rates of any sector in the United States. Finding, hiring, and training new staff is incredibly expensive. Estimates put the cost of replacing a single line cook at over $5,000 when you factor in advertising, interviewing, training time, and lost productivity. Now ask yourself, who wants to work in a filthy, greasy, hazardous environment? Nobody. A clean, organized, and safe kitchen is a fundamental sign of respect for your team. Tells them you care about their well-being. This directly translates into higher morale, greater loyalty, and lower turnover. Keeping your trained, experienced team intact is one of the most powerful financial strategies you can deploy. But it goes deeper. A clean kitchen is an efficient kitchen. When your staff isn't slipping on greasy floors or wasting time searching for a clean pan, they work faster. Prep times are shorter. Ticket times are quicker. In the restaurant world, time is money. Shaving just 30 seconds off every order can mean turning 1 or 2 more tables during a busy dinner rush. Over a year, that adds up to a significant increase in revenue. The workflow is smoother, the energy is better, and the food that comes out of that kitchen reflects that positive, efficient environment. Now for the biggest financial driver of all, your customers. In the age of Yelp, Google reviews, and Instagram, your reputation is your currency. And nothing can tank that reputation faster than a single mention of the word dirty. Imagine 2 restaurants side by side. Both serve a fantastic burger. One has a review that says, "Amazing burger," but the place felt a little grimy, and I saw a cook wipe his hands on his apron. The other review says, "Incredible burger," and the whole place was sparkling clean. You can tell they really care about quality. Which restaurant are you choosing? Which one are you recommending to your friends? The perception of cleanliness is inextricably linked to the perception of quality and safety. Your customers may never see your kitchen, but the cleanliness of your dining room, your restrooms, and even your staff's uniforms creates a powerful subconscious message. A clean establishment tells the customer that you are professional, that you pay attention to detail, and that you respect their health. This builds trust. Trust builds loyalty. And loyal, repeat customers are the bedrock of any profitable restaurant. A single negative review about sanitation can scare away dozens of potential new customers, while a reputation for impeccable cleanliness can become a powerful marketing tool in its own right, setting you apart from the competition. Finally, there's the financial category of risk mitigation. This is the big scary stuff that can put you out of business overnight. A grease fire, for example. We talked about the danger, but let's talk about the dollars. The average commercial kitchen fire causes tens of thousands of dollars in damage, not to mention the lost revenue from being shut down for weeks or months for repairs. A properly cleaned and maintained kitchen hood and exhaust system is your #1 defense. Many insurance providers recognize this. They may offer lower premiums to restaurants that can provide certified proof of regular, professional hood cleaning. That's a direct, recurring saving. Beyond fires, think about liability. A slip-and-fall accident on a greasy floor can lead to a lawsuit that costs you a fortune in legal fees and settlement costs, and can send your insurance rates through the roof. A foodborne illness outbreak traced back to your restaurant isn't just a public relations nightmare. It's a financial catastrophe that can lead to lawsuits, health department fines, and a complete loss of public trust that you may never recover from. When you look at it this way, professional commercial kitchen cleaning stops being an expense on your profit and loss statement. It's not a cost center. It's an investment. It's an investment in the longevity of your equipment. It's an investment in the efficiency of your utilities. It's an investment in the morale and retention of your valuable staff. It's an investment in your public reputation and your ability to attract and retain customers. And it is, without a doubt, the single most important insurance policy you can buy to protect you from catastrophic financial loss. The cost of proactive, professional cleaning is a tiny, minuscule fraction of the potential cost of a failed health inspection, a major equipment failure, a devastating fire, or a reputation-destroying lawsuit. The math is simple, and the conclusion is undeniable. A professionally cleaned kitchen isn't a luxury for the most successful restaurants. It's a foundational requirement for becoming one. The why is settled. The financial case is closed. Now the only question left is how. How do you find the right professionals to protect this investment and unlock all of this potential? The process is less like hiring a janitor and more like hiring a specialist surgeon for the heart of your business. You wouldn't let just anyone operate on your most critical asset, and the same principle applies here. Your first question, the one that separates the amateurs from the professionals, should always be about certifications. Specifically, are they certified to clean kitchen exhaust systems according to NFPA 96 standards? That's the National Fire Protection Association. Standard 96. This isn't just a fancy acronym. It's the national standard for ventilation control and fire protection of commercial cooking operations. A company that isn't deeply familiar with and certified in NFPA 96 is not a serious contender. They are, frankly, a liability. Ask to see their certifications. A legitimate company will be proud to show you. They'll have technicians who are individually certified, and they'll be able to explain exactly what the standard requires and how their process meets or exceeds it. Next, you must demand proof of insurance. And not just any generic business insurance. You need to see a certificate for comprehensive general liability insurance, and it needs to be substantial. We're talking at least $1 to $2 million in coverage. Why? Because accidents happen. Imagine a technician improperly handles a chemical and ruins your stainless steel prep surfaces. Imagine they damage a $1,000 motor in your exhaust fan. Imagine they leave a floor slick and one of your employees slips and breaks an arm. Without adequate liability insurance, the cost of their mistake lands squarely on your shoulders. You also need to verify that they carry full workers' compensation insurance. If they don't, and one of their employees gets injured on your property, you could be held liable for their medical bills and lost wages. A company that tries to cut corners on insurance is gambling with your business. Do not let them. Ask for the certificate of insurance, and don't be afraid to call the insurance provider listed to verify that the policy is active and current. After credentials and protection comes proof of expertise. Ask for a list of references, specifically from other restaurants in your area. Call them. Ask about their experience. Were they punctual? Were they professional? Did they do what they promised? Did they leave the kitchen in better condition than they found it? A track record of success is the best predictor of future performance. But don't stop there. Ask the company for a portfolio of their work. True professionals in this field document everything. They take detailed before and after photographs, not just of the shiny hood canopy, but of the hidden, critical components, the interior of the ductwork, the rooftop exhaust fan blades, the plenum chamber behind the filters. If a company cannot provide you with this kind of visual proof, it's a massive red flag. It suggests they either don't do a thorough job, or they have something to hide. This brings us to the most critical part of the vetting process, the proposal. A professional quote is not a single number on a business card. It is a detailed, itemized scope of work. It should clearly state every single task they will perform, from scraping the ducts to cleaning the fan housing to mopping the floor. It should specify the types of chemicals they use. Are they food safe? Are they EPA approved? It should outline their process from start to finish, including how they protect your equipment and how they clean up after themselves. This detailed proposal is your contract. It's what you use to hold them accountable. Now let's talk about the traps, the giant flashing warning signs that should have you running in the other direction. The biggest and most seductive trap is the unusually low bid. If you get 3 quotes and one is dramatically cheaper than the others, it's not a bargain. It's a warning. Quality work, certified technicians, proper insurance, and effective, safe chemicals all cost money. A rock-bottom price means they are cutting corners somewhere. Maybe they're using untrained, uninsured day laborers. Maybe they're only doing a cosmetic surface shine clean, leaving the dangerous grease buildup inside the ducts untouched. This is often called a hood polisher service. They make the outside look good for a photo but ignore the fire hazard within. The cheapest bid often leads to the most expensive disaster, whether it's a failed inspection, a fire, or having to pay a real professional to come in and do the job correctly a second time. Another red flag is a lack of professionalism. Do they answer the phone with a generic hello? Is their website unprofessional or non-existent? Do they show up to give you an estimate in a beat-up, unmarked van? These might seem like small things, but they speak volumes about their commitment to their business and, by extension, their commitment to yours. You are entrusting these people with the keys to your restaurant, allowing them to work unsupervised overnight around your most expensive equipment. You need to be able to trust them implicitly. Ultimately, you are not just hiring a cleaning service. You are forging a partnership with a critical risk management team. The right company becomes a silent guardian of your restaurant's safety and reputation. They provide you with a detailed service report after every cleaning, complete with those before and after photos and a certificate of performance. This isn't just a piece of paper. This is your proof. It's the document you show your fire marshal to prove compliance. It's the report you send your insurance company, which can often lead to lower premiums. It's the evidence that protects you in the event of a fire, demonstrating you took every reasonable precaution. This documentation is your armor. So, as we wrap up this journey, let's bring it all back to the beginning. We started with the unseen dangers lurking in the shadows of every commercial kitchen. We uncovered the devastating financial and reputational costs of a single fire or a failed health inspection. We explored the incredible return on investment that professional cleaning provides in safety, efficiency, morale, and brand integrity. And now you have the blueprint for choosing the right partner to help you achieve it. The decision you make is not about an expense line on a spreadsheet. It's a fundamental choice about the kind of business you want to run. It's a statement about the standards you hold. Every great chef knows that the most important ingredient in any dish is respect. Respect for the ingredients, respect for the craft, and respect for the customer. Professional kitchen cleaning is the ultimate expression of that respect. It ensures that every single plate that leaves your kitchen comes from a place of safety, integrity, and uncompromising quality. It's the unseen foundation upon which every memorable dining experience is built. The passion, the creativity, the long hours you pour into your dream, they all deserve to be protected. They deserve a foundation that is not just clean, but certifiably, professionally, defensibly clean. Make the right choice. Invest in that foundation, because the legacy of your restaurant isn't just written on your menu. It's forged in the heart of your kitchen. And a clean heart is where every great story begins.